This one does not exactly look like the ad. The hand also only has 4 fingers. Okay, this is not what this instrument was made for. I'm a little bit scared of using this. Recently I got hit with some pretty unhinged guitar-related AI scam ads, so I thought I would take one for the team and actually order all of them. The first thing I ordered that doesn't seem quite right to me is this acoustic guitar. It was only $70 and apparently has a spruce top, a rosewood fingerboard. Let's check out what future me has to say about it. That's the acoustic, and on first glance it looks kind of impressive actually. There's a bit of a 3D thing going on here, probably because this is either glued or it's just a massive sticker or something. So it looks kind of close to the ad, not as good as in the maybe AI generated image. Where you can see the flaws most clearly is the paint job on the back. So I doubt that all of this is intentional, but the binding is surprisingly clean. I don't know how they pulled that off. What's interesting is that one of the fret markers or dots is completely displaced. Pretty interesting. Biggest personal surprise that I could see is that there's actually some sort of pickup in here. Let's see what it sounds like in the room first. So I already tuned it a bit. It didn't sound exactly like this coming out of the box. For some reason it was kind of tuned to C standard, which actually sounds pretty cool on an acoustic guitar. And the sound is actually fuller than I imagined, because with some very thin acoustic guitars you also get a very thin sound, almost like playing electric guitar without being plugged in. Of course, you have a little bit of string buzz. But I didn't expect a perfectly set up guitar. String height, so the action is also a little bit high, but it's definitely playable. But here's the moment of truth. Of course, we're gonna have to plug it in. And it actually works. So this patch on my quad cortex is actually an electric guitar amp, not an acoustic guitar amp. But it actually sounds kind of cool. Nice. Almost sounds a bit like a sitar. But you all knew that this was coming. We're gonna have to check it out with distortion next. Okay, this is not what this instrument was made for. So these pickups have more output than expected. Actually, I'm pretty surprised, especially concerning the price point of this thing. So I thought I would do something special with this guitar. I'm giving this guitar away to a subscriber that comes from this YouTube video. Now, of course, it's not the most expensive guitar in the world, but now it's officially part of this channel's history, a very important prop. Of course, I'm going to sign it for you in the back on this wonderful paint job. Actually looks pretty cool now. So since I played it on the channel and it has my signature, it's worth at least $46,000 now. Just hit the subscribe button down below. You will be selected automatically once you subscribe. Click the button and good luck. I'm a little bit scared of the next one because I might get into legal trouble. Maybe you've seen this before. This looks pretty much exactly like one of Kirk Hammett's signature guitars. But with the ad I got, I only paid around $150 for it. You can't see the headstock on the image, but I don't think I'm gonna get an ESP or LTD guitar. Let's skip ahead a few weeks and see what actually arrived. This is the knockoff Kirk Hammett guitar, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed by the paint job. You actually get that sparkle finish of the original, I guess. If you look very closely, of course, there's gonna be a bit of a difference. But the pickups are painted as well. The bridge even says licensed under Floyd Rose. I'm not sure if they just put it there or if it's an actual Floyd Rose. One thing that confused me a bit is this right here. I thought it looks like that because it's a knockoff guitar, but then I looked up the original. We also got those cool looking fretboard inlays. The only major difference, of course, is the headstock. Instead of saying ESP or LTD, there's just a golden sticker on there. All right. But actually not that bad. feels so wrong. Yeah, the middle position is my favorite. Concerning the clean tone. Okay, yeah, this is where the tone lags a little bit. I'm used to my active Fishmans in my signature. So with this preset I usually have pretty satisfying high gain tone. This one definitely lacks some bite, and I doubt that the original guitar sounds exactly like this. Yeah. Doesn't sound bad, but also doesn't sound right. The frets aren't exactly polished, or I don't know what's making that sound. Maybe you can hear it. So that feels a bit weird when I'm playing lead guitar stuff on this instrument. But honestly, at this kind of price point, I'm surprised that this thing even showed up. Once again, please, Kirk, don't sue me. Always go for the original signature guitars, like mine, for example, the Ibanez SB ER10. And now for the most AI ad of them all, check out this. It's another acoustic guitar, but the ad I got served described it in a pretty interesting way. That's why I picked it up. It said 6-string simulated wood grain guitar. So I don't know if the guitar is simulated. It definitely doesn't look real in the image. So let's see what we actually got in the mail. So this one does not exactly look like the ad. I think it's a little bit smaller, at least smaller than what I expected. I thought this is gonna be an actual acoustic guitar, or maybe just a slightly smaller travel guitar. But it has this dangling little heart right here, so I guess that's a plus. Inside it says Fan Wing the Toys. I didn't know that I was ordering a toy. I thought I was gonna get an acoustic guitar. But anyways, let's make the best out of it. The strings are extremely thin. I don't know what that material even is. I guess plastic. The frets on there are also plastic. Yeah, okay, this entire thing is plastic. So let's see. Sounds just like an acoustic guitar. If I'm trying to fish really hard for some positive things to say, I guess you can get a very wide vibrato out of it, but the guitar goes out of tune. The guitar, I call it a guitar. The toy goes out of tune pretty much instantly, and there's a very worrying crack every time I go for a wide vibrato like this. But the bending range is pretty impressive. I can't bend that far on my regular guitar. So that's about all I can say about this instrument. If you enjoy that kind of sound, go for it. Let's take a quick break from the guitars and look at some accessories. I just had to order that guitar pick because, first of all, it's pretty huge. The image is obviously AI generated, but it actually comes with an important disclaimer: 2D flat, not 3D. Whatever that means. The hand also only has 4 fingers. I just noticed this after buying it, of course. So let's see what we actually got in the mail. Then we have this right here, and I almost forgot what that's supposed to be. But when you open it up, you can see those are the picks that we ordered, and they don't exactly look like they do on the product image. I guess they have the design printed on them, but of course it's a cheap print, and they're not made of any kind of special material as implies on the product image. And I can also see a super rough edge on this pick, so yeah. We get a lot of annoying scratching out of the picking movement. Here's how that sounds like in comparison. I guess they're really good for pick slides, but for everything else, they just feel very, very cheap. And when I slide my finger across the edge, it's very, very uneven here. So if you really enjoy breaking your strings, this might be the pick to go with. Another disappointment, but what's actually kind of cool is this. I didn't know it comes with a small bag like that. That's actually pretty useful because, like most guitar players, I also tend to lose my picks quite often. The next one looks more like a medieval torture device. I'm a little bit scared of using this. As you can see, it's a musical instrument universal finger exercise adjustable distance finger expander. I guess it's supposed to increase your stretching abilities. I hope I won't break my fingers giving giving it a try. At least it looks like what's advertised. I guess your fingers go in here, or no, maybe the other way around. And I'm not sure if you're supposed to play. Oh, okay, that feels really bad. I can barely move my fingers and it already hurts my wrist. Maybe it's supposed to go up here? No, that's even worse. So I guess you shouldn't be playing guitar with that thing. And it's meant to just spread your fingers or something. You can even adjust the placement of these things if you really want to break your hand. So this just feels like a shortcut to tendonitis for me. Yeah, I'm scared of playing anything else with this thing. Please stay away from stuff like that. If you want to increase your range of motion with your fretting hand, don't forget that I also have a Guitar Academy channel here on YouTube. All it takes is adjusting the thumb position behind the neck. This next one's interesting, not just because it says Happy Easter for some reason. The ad that I got shown actually said guitar finger picks, which is an interesting term for something you seemingly put on your fretting hand, since it also said ideal for beginners. I think it's meant to protect your fingertips as a beginner from the pain that you initially feel when you start playing guitar. I didn't have those starting out. If you play guitar, I think you also didn't. But let's see if I can actually shred with those. It's this suspicious looking bag. Oh yeah, so those are meant to go on your fretting hand fingers like this. And they're extremely tight, so I can already feel them cutting off my blood flow. That's not a good sign. That feels really strange. I can't really feel the tips of my fingers anymore just after a couple of seconds of putting them on. That is the weirdest sensation ever. I kind of feel like one of those dogs that their owners put shoes on and then they forget how to walk. Feels so weird because I can't feel the fingertips touching the string, and it's also close to impossible to slide because the fingers get stuck on the string. So moving from one position to the next is almost impossible. Like, it takes a lot of effort, but what it actually does is really cut off my blood flow, and it feels nothing like actually playing guitar, and my fingertips are also sweating a lot by now. So this is another bad product. Please don't buy these. And if you bring them on the road like this, they might also get you detained at an airport. Alright my friend, if you want this exclusive priceless piece of channel history, personally signed by me of course, all you have to do is click the button down below, subscribe, and you will be selected automatically to win this actually kind of cool guitar. So hit subscribe right now and I will announce the winner in a YouTube community post on this channel. Good luck and see you in the next video. Bye bye.